everybody. I hope you enjoyed my little intro solo, but that was more instructional than a solo. We're talking about time. The best way for you to make your time better on the kit for the show is what you just saw me do. No question. Stream of thought, stream of consciousness. You put a metronome on, not quick, like I did, at 60 beats a minute. And you move through just rhythmical permutations that you want, that you feel. Because look, most of the gigs that you play, if you're a pro, you're going to get called at the last second. And most of the gigs that I do, I'm sort of improvising almost the whole night. You know, you're doing pop tunes, so it's not like I'm soloing for 3 hours. But I'm choosing, and I'm listening, and I'm watching what's going on, and I'm doing what's in my head to do. And it's just like, you know, I teach driver's ed part-time, and I say this to my students, the only way you can really become a good driver is to drive. The only way you can become used to being on stage is to be on stage. And the only way you can become, get good time, no matter what you're doing, is to do it. So that's one of the ways. There's another way. So if I'm doing that, here's number 2. Here's an exercise we're going to do. I don't want this video to be too long. Here's a little exercise. If I hear something in what I'm doing, now, by the way, like I left any adjustments I had to make right in that. That was like my second attempt, so that was really just free flowing. I kind of had an idea, and I do play solos once a week, so I was drawing from stuff I do normally to a bit, but there was some stuff I came up with right that second, and I watched it back already. You know, this is before I'm releasing it. I thought, oh, I like that. I'm going to do that in my next solo with Tasha. Yeah, you know, that kind of stuff happens. So, and that's why it's important to do. But if I'm doing that, and that's something, by the way, what I did, you want to do that much longer than what I did it for on the video, which I would do if it was a normal practice session. I would do that for a while. And not ridiculous, not like an hour, but I would probably do it for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But if I hear something that's bugging me, in other words, every time I make a particular transition, it's not right, I'll work on that transition. But something else I do when I know I have a bunch of gigs coming up and I'm not going to get a lot of practice time is what I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to go through groove to groove to groove of stuff you'll use on a regular basis, 60 beats a minute to a metronome, 4-bar chunks, and make the transition. I'll start with just a regular quarter note groove, to quarter note triplets, to eighth notes, to eighth note triplets, to 16th notes, to 16th note triplets, to 32nd notes, and back. All right? And I'm doing that for a particular reason, because that's what you would use most often. To be honest with you, when I do it myself, I use also quintuplets and septuplets. I'm not going to put that in this video because I think that's a very advanced thing. And to be honest with you, in real life, in grooves, I don't use that very much. I can't even think of a time in a groove that I've used a septuplet or a quintuplet. In fills or solos, yes, but not in grooves. So here we go. Let's do this. I'm going to set up everything, come right back. We're going to do 4 bars a piece all the way up to 30 seconds and all the way back. When I do my 16th note triplets before we actually do the recording, we're going to use a halftime shuffle, right? So, because 16th note triplets, I could do this. That's not realistic. This is realistic. That's something I would use on a regular gig and I would do, right? Because the whole purpose of this channel is to help you get better at things you will do on a regular basis, not, you know, and I know I use them as a punching bag a little bit. 80-20 is going to show you whatever, 6/9. And so I'm going to show you stuff that you're actually going to use. And again, and I've said this before in this channel, doing this at a slow tempo, even though I might not always be playing slow, as you can see, and the outro I'm going to do, I've already recorded, I'm going to double time that 60 beats a minute, but not on the metronome. The metronome's going to be playing 60 and I'll be more like in 120. All right? So that is better for you, ultimately, than putting the metronome on the duh of 1 or whatever. That's only going to let you hear the metronome in a weird place. And I say that, Jeff Berlin says that. There are other great musicians that say that. Jeff Berlin, if you don't know who he is, look him up. One of the greatest bass players in the world. Again, that's not going to really help you with your time. It's just going to help you to hear something weird in the metronome. That's all. Anyway, let me set up everything, come right back, and we're going to do this. And I'll try to talk to you about what I'm doing as much as I can while I'm doing it, and hopefully not mess up too much. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Believe it or not, the beat I do with Tasha is a little more complicated, but not much. Here we go. Quarter note triplets. 1 triplet, 2 triplets, 3 triplets, 4 triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplets, 3 triplets, 4 triplets. Let's triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplets, 3 triplets, 4 triplet. That's always hard. 3rd bar. 8th note triplets. And I'm making the mistakes. The adjustments, rather. Triple, two triplets, triple, four triplets, triple, two triplets, triple, four triplets, triplets, triple, four triplets, triple, two triplets, triple, four triplets. Alright, so on purpose, I left in little adjustments I have to make. You can tell when I went to the paradiddles, like I was thinking, what am I going to do for 30 seconds? And I went to those paradiddles. It was a last second thought. You can tell I made an adjustment right at first. So I'm leaving that stuff in. Why? Because it's better for you. It's better for you to see that we all make little adjustments. If you saw Steve Gadd do this, he would make them. If you saw Bernard Purdie, he would make them, right? They would all make them. Would they do it better than me? Yes. Would they make adjustments? Yes. All right. I really thank you for a good year. This channel has really grown a lot. I have more stuff planned. I'm going to tell you about it next week. I'm going to do a little greatest hits. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me take it to the outro. I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to double time. So here we go. Get good at this. Get good at this, because if you can only do 4 beats, but you do them in time, if you can do 4 subdivisions, but you can do them in time, you will work every weekend. See you on the next one.